try to beat the market. I am your co-host Eric, and I'm here with Danny Mac. And today is probably going to be kind of a fairly short one.
There's just so much going on right now.
I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like there isn't that much going on.
Well, I guess I mean
I feel like ever since the China thing kind of came to like a little bit of an agreement, it seems like it's kind of gotten a little quiet. There's still news, but like
and that's what I meant.
It's not as tense.
Yeah, I mean I guess the intense part of the news has kind of quieted down, but there's a lot of just kind of small little stories. Earnings is kind of full fledged right now, so there's just a lot of tidbits.
Impeachment.
And so there's a lot of just tidbits going on in the news that we're just gonna kind of hit on and catch everybody up. But kind of starting off from there.
Hold on, let's go with the normal bullshit.
Well, I wanted to kind of for new viewers or people who have joined us late and weren't kind of with us in the first few episodes.
Oh, you forgot to like, subscribe, comment. And don't forget that we're streaming live, so therefore we can take all your comments here. And please be sure to get involved. Danny's a little rusty. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe, everything else, guys. We're here live. Tell us who you want to talk to. Tell us if there's a part of the market that you guys are interested in, that you want to talk to a professional in, because we have plenty of people here available at Zacks that we could draw into this room at any time. This week we kind of just felt like there ain't much going on, so let's just kind of chill out.
Well, again, I kind of wanted to go back and just let people know kind of what the show's about if they're joining us late. Like Eric said, you can always get involved with our show. We are live. We love to take questions when we have guests here. If you have any stocks you want to talk about, send them our way. But also, kind of the basis of the show, we've been creating a portfolio over the past, I'd say, what has it been, like 3 months now, 4 months?
Since we started? Yeah, it's been a while.
So we've created a portfolio. We started with about $5,000 as a goal to create our portfolio, and we've just been kind of learning as we go. Like Eric said, we've brought on guests, kind of got some recommendations, learned about certain sectors. So go back, check out some of those episodes, and that'll be a lot of fun. So let's do that and kind of start off, I guess, the news stories. Do you have a place that you want to kind of start off on, because there is so much going on?
Well, I mean, we've got a bunch of stuff. I mean, I feel like some of the biggest news that's still coming, in a way, is probably everything that's going on with those streaming services. You've got, Hulu Plus, which is teaming up with, well, I guess it's not really teaming up. Disney owned a portion of it before, and now they're just kind of going all in. But Disney taking on Hulu Plus, and then also ESPN with, Disney Plus service that's coming out in November, mid-November. Yep. So that's pretty freaking huge, if you ask me. I mean, I got a feeling that Disney, seeing as they're buying up every single piece of content they can get their hands on, no matter where it's coming from, and the news that PlayStation is going to be shutting down their store. So that makes me think that they're going to set up a deal with Disney and be like, hey, we've got content.
Wait,
you want content.
That went over my head. Disney or Sony's shutting down their store? I thought they were opening up like a new gaming
Maybe for gaming, but they're shutting down their like television streaming store.
Oh,
so like all their like movies and everything else, you won't be able to get them through there. So that means that they're probably going to come up for sale. And if I had to guess,
I mean, that was kind of a big
probably
going to
go to Sony.
Because I mean, I'm an Xbox kind of guy, and I used to be on the PlayStation, but I mean those consoles and stuff.
Xbox.
But like those consoles were kind of home media centers. You could watch your YouTube, you could watch your Netflix and all the movies and stuff like PlayStation offered. You could watch all of those rentable movies and all that stuff. So it's kind of I
feel like that whole world in general has come a really long way, especially since Microsoft basically went and released Xbox for basically your PC.
Yeah.
So you can get everything basically through your PC now, which is kind of, I think, what Microsoft's plan originally was. Instead of having to worry about, I have to have an Xbox to play, and I still need my computer to do my computer things like work or school or whatever.
Yeah, now it's
all in one. Mm-hmm. So now you can game and work and everything else all through one box, which I think is kind of what you were talking about. It used to be the old all-in-one, but now it literally is all-in-one.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where I guess these companies are taking the next step in trying to compete with all of these cloud services and streaming capabilities that have kind of been put on the forefront of everybody's technology. I mean,
I think a lot of it just comes down to, even look at your cell phone. Years ago, I know you're too young for this, Danny, but I used to have to carry around a camera, a video camera, and a cell phone.
Oh, I'm not too young for that.
Or if I wanted music, I had to carry a Discman or a Walkman or even an early iPod. So it was still another device I had to have. So now this one device does, 4 jobs, which is huge.
Yeah.
So I feel like the computer industry, actually, this is weird because I was just talking about this with my dad the other day, which also mimics the television industry in a way. We'll back it up. Television industry used to fight with the monitor companies making computer monitors, saying, "Oh, we have to be a different standard, so we're monitors, and we're not considered televisions. And televisions are doing the same thing. We're going to make sure that we're labeled as televisions, or we're not the same as monitors." Well, now they're pretty much interchangeable.
Yeah.
1080 monitor is pretty much standard. If you're lucky or you have the money for it, or if your company ponied up for it, you have a 4K. But I feel like the same thing's going on with computers. Computers are going, you know what? We haven't really innovated much in the last couple of years. Microsoft happens to have Xbox in its pocket and goes, hey, let's just, make this all in one and really go for it, which I think for their usership also is huge, because anybody who then had a PC automatically has an Xbox, and now everybody's playing an Xbox with their friends.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, with all those recent announcements last couple months, with all the big gaming conventions, they had Sony and Xbox saying, "Hey, we're coming out with a brand new
cross-platform," right?
Well, it's not just cross-platform. They're creating these streaming kind of capabilities for their Xboxes and stuff, and for PlayStations that we're kind of getting rumors from, that they're going to be as strong as computers, and basically you won't have to have any video games. Everything will kind of be streamed through these cloud services that
I feel like they've already
Microsoft
been
and
doing
everything.
that. I feel like they're kind of just announcing something that's been going on for a while, because
It's
Sony used to make computers. You used to be able to get like a Sony Vaio. I mean, it was an expensive computer, but
right?
It ran Microsoft.
Well, the thing is that right now, for example, if you want to run a computer video game at about 4K at anything more than about, say 70 frames per second, it'll cost you a good couple grand to get that type of system up and running, due to the graphics cards and all these components that you have to buy. But they're saying that they're going to be able to run 4K at 60 frames per second on their video game consoles that they're going to release for probably the normal prices of like the $500-$600, which is just astronomical. It's going to kill a lot of those, DIY, build your own computer. I'm one of those who built their own computer, and I'm very curious to see the computing power that these new machines will have. So, there's a lot of just new technology coming out on that end. So, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air because it's all been just like pre-announced.
I doubt it'll kill the average. I can't even call him average. I guess it's not going to kill the PC builder, the guy that wants a custom PC to do whatever it is they want to do, because I'm sure that there are going to be mass limitations with these boxes. I mean,
but the money is, I think, the big thing, because it's a lot of money to put through a computer, and if you're just kind of an average gamer who wanted to have the capability of, playing at the highest level, and you're only there a couple
not only
days.
That, but you talk about what it requires to run your monitors. I mean, if you decide to do, I've seen guys that have full like wraparound monitor systems for their gaming. I mean, it's insane. But you need lots of processing power to even get that to work. Lots of video cards. So I'm sure that's a lot of what a computer is still going to be able to do for you versus these. Consoles are always going to be limited. They're just always going to be limited. As a console player myself, I can tell you that, they have their limitations. I remember having, I remember the big deal was PlayStation 3 going to PlayStation 4. I remember being like, oh man, I really want to invest in this. And I got it, and I was not that impressed in the difference.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then the PlayStation, 4 Plus came out, and I was like, this is not any better. So what, it's 4K, but the processing power still stinks.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I mean, we'll see what they're able to jam pack into those boxes. My computer's huge at home. So for them to promise all this, again, it's a waiting game, because we have to wait till 2020 when they start releasing maybe some prototypes, some gameplay.
I'm sure
that
stuff will get leaked sooner than later.
Right, and so that's why it's a waiting game. It's something that's just been announced. So,
well, I'm just gonna say I feel like they're already doing that whole thing. I was way more excited about their cross-platform playing. I feel like that's really gonna open up the world to playing with each other. For a while, there was that Xbox PlayStation battle. There's a famous South Park episode about the release of the PlayStation, and they go and they battle to see who's going to be the dominant one.
Yeah, well, the Fortnite scene kind of is, I would say, the first game to ever actually release that. I think they're the only game to release that. I could be wrong, but they're the only ones I personally know of that you can play on PlayStation, Xbox, computer, You can play on your phone.
Well, no,
You
but
can
I'm
play
saying
on anything.
cross-platform, as in like you can play anybody from any system. Like I
Oh, that's what.
know,
Yeah, that's what they do. So you can be on any of those systems. You can be on your phone. It doesn't matter. You get thrown into games with those people. It doesn't matter what you're playing on. So it's a very multi-console slash PC
And
community.
I'm sure my buddy Sean Battle, if you're listening, he would probably be laughing if he played that game. I doubt he does, because he would just go in there and slaughter people that were on anything but a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, it's a tough game. But other than that, we've been kind of going down a video game rabbit hole here. I feel like so. I thought we would hit on the
We didn't really. We
new
were
streaming
actually,
service.
yeah, that's what we were
here.
actually talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. We were going down the gaming. I thought maybe we'd kind of flip it
because
back.
we were talking about how it's all kind of getting condensed down, and I mean with Sony and their background with the Spider-Man movies, and then you've got Disney, who's got kind of Spider-Man. If you remember that there was like this huge battle about a couple
between them
months
and
ago,
Sony.
saying that they weren't going to be able to do another Spider-Man.
They brought
involved.
him back though. Everybody in the Marvel
Well,
universe.
you're right, exactly. They made a deal
Yeah.
to get the rights to use Spider-Man. So I'm only assuming that positive deal there is probably going to lead to Sony selling a lot of content to Disney. So I think Netflix is really in some trouble personally.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see about the Sony thing selling. I mean, they were.
That hasn't been announced.
No, I was just saying they fought
predicting.
tooth and nail, and scared a lot of just fans and cult fans about taking away
Spider-Man,
and that's
well,
a big
let's be
deal.
honest,
He's a huge deal to the Marvel
Spider-Man
universe.
movies.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, everybody loved the Tobey Maguire.
Oh God, I feel like he was one of the worst.
Really, I thought they were fun movies.
I think the last two that we've had have been pretty good. Like a lot of people didn't like the guy in between.
Tom Holland.
No,
the new guy. It's Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom. I'm talking about the guy in between him and Tobey Maguire. I can't remember his name at all, but I kind of liked him.
Me.
I kind of liked him, but apparently none of the fanboys did, so they had to get rid of him. But
everybody likes Tom Holland though.
Exactly. He's
like
a good
his
actor.
movies,
Yeah, he's a good actor.
It's
I like
fun,
him.
and I can't wait for the new one. I think it's far away or something like that.
I'm actually way more interested to see the new Carnage movies that are coming out. Those are gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah,
those all have to deal with Venom, and I never got into the comic books, but I'll tell you, I love these movies.
Yeah, but speaking of these new movies, Joker, which is part of the Warner Brother kind of family, will be a part of the HBO Max, which is being launched here pretty soon. They're looking to actually put 50 million U.S. subscribers by 2025. So that's some pretty.
For those that care, his name is Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
Nobody remembers him, but
I was going to say that's pretty bad.
I liked your movie, Andrew Garfield. I thought you were a decent Spider-Man.
I think I'm going to go with the majority. I wasn't a big fan. I kind of went from Toby to the Tom Hollands, but. I mean, HBO is going to be launching this brand new streaming service, which is just more to add, I guess, to the saturation. Yeah, and
because when we told, so it was HBO Go, now it's HBO Now, and now they're coming out with HBO Max.
Right now, HBO is still going to exist, and HBO Go will obviously probably exist as well. It's their kind of mobile platform to that service.
Isn't that their old one? Isn't it HBO Now?
I could be.
I think it's HBO Now.
Okay. Well, either way, HBO Go or Now, those services still will exist, but they're going to be coming out with a new streaming service that will have over 10,000 hours of programming, which is pretty insane to think about. But it's going to have some pretty popular things to watch, like Friends, the crazy popular Big Bang Theory. It's going to have South Park. And then it's going to have all the Warner Bros. Movies, like The Joker, which is coming out probably in the DVD section in the next 2 months, because you know how fast they move out of the theaters.
You'll be streaming it soon.
Yeah, but go check that movie out, by the way, if you haven't. But
Did you see it?
Yes.
Was it good?
Yes. I will just say that because I don't want to ruin anything.
Well,
I'm one of those guys that I went into that movie completely blacked out. Like, I didn't see a trailer. I didn't speak to anybody who saw it. So I went in there just kind of not knowing anything, and I kind of enjoyed it like that. So I'll keep it that way.
I'm interested in seeing it. I'm just not into going to the theater. I'll wait until I can stream it in the comfort of my home.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed it in the theater. It was a good experience. But they're also going to have Grease as a spinoff, which, I mean, that's a kind of cult classic movie from back in the day with John Travolta.
Wait, what?
It's Grease. They're having a Grease spinoff.
A spinoff?
Yeah, that's what it says.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. These are all just things that they're announcing
That
and
sounds like a
letting.
terrible idea.
Well, we'll see. They also have Tokyo Vice, and they're doing a Gossip Girl sequel, which I'm not a watcher of Gossip Girl, so I don't
It
really
was a
know.
popular show. My
Yeah,
sister watched it. My mom watched it.
is
So
that like a Dawson's Creek thing from?
I don't ever remember watching an episode, but I know that it's definitely like a young female emotionally based television show with lots of
So it's a
soppy
very
moments. Yes.
dramatic show to
Yes.
watch. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is just another.
It should be on the Hallmark Network, I think. I
Hallmark.
think it'd probably fit on that.
That's one station I try to stay away from, but
I
every
think
year,
most people
especially
do.
with the holidays coming up, my family gets together and my sister and mother love to sit there and watch those Hallmark movies, the Christmas ones
God,
that
we need
start
like a
now.
scream button on here. Like,
Yeah, well, the worst part about it is I won't go on a tangent, but they start so early and they just
Oh,
watch
God.
them forever, and it's just like, oh my gosh, can we please watch anything else?
well, you know what the
Christmas
worst part
Story?
is? I bet you by Friday we're gonna start seeing Christmas decorations going up and Christmas music going on the radio, which is just.
The day after Halloween, people start doing it, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm a curmudgeon when it comes to Christmas. Like I like Christmas, but it just starts so early.
What do they call them? A humbug?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what my mom always used to call me as a kid
I like
when I was grumpy.
Christmas,
I love
but
Christmas.
It's
so-
just when it starts in November, it's just too early.
yeah, but that's
You
another.
hear that, people? It's too freaking early.
Let us enjoy Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah. Right? There's like a whole other holiday right in between there. We don't have to start the day after
Right.
Halloween. Anyway.
So yeah, that's kind of wrapping that up. There's not too much news on it. It's just a big announcement. So kind of keep an eye on all these streaming services that are coming out.
Yeah, pretty much we're not
Disney,
gonna get-
Peacock.
We're not going to get
HBO
any
Max.
real news until those things launch. I mean, we're going to see where the teams go.
No, and the first one is Disney Plus.
I feel like if you've
which will
got
be a big one.
kids and you've got a young family and you like Disney movies, or you're like a Star Trek or a Star Wars, sorry, we're definitely going to get some hate now.
Yeah.
If you're a Star Wars fan, like you're going to be getting Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like it's a must.
I mean, I'm probably going to get it. It includes Hulu Plus, and then you can also get ESPN Plus involved with. I think I just made Hulu Plus up. I'm just putting pluses on everything.
We're using a lot of womp here, like ESPN, dying breed.
Yeah, well, it's a 3-in-1 package. Hulu is a great service, I think. Has a lot of just
It
kind
does.
of live shows and stuff that you would normally watch on
It's a good way
your
to
cable
catch
television.
up. Yeah, it's a good way to catch up.
Right. I think it's actually one of the true services that helps cut cable, if that makes sense. Like if you're going to really like get away from using those packages and you still want to watch your daily shows,
I don't disagree with
that
you.
service is such a great substitute.
Except for the fact that most of the shows that are on there are available over the air, not over cable.
Yeah. Well,
So-
so I mean, there's obviously going to be limitations.
You could just-
Cable companies are going to still try to hold on to their.
Put your old antenna back up there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I do that.
I don't think I have one, so I don't know.
all I have is internet. So when it comes, we've had this discussion before, but I am what I call a purist when it comes to the cable cutting, because the fact that all these services and everything else, you're just basically paying for cable again.
Yeah.
Whereas I am a true cable cutter. All I have is internet and an antenna.
Right.
And my antenna gets me the local channels if there's something I gotta watch, and obviously the internet I can get anything else I need. So for those of you that are true purists,
Very true. Very
cut
true.
that cable. For everybody else, enjoy your multiple channel cable that you have to pay for one package at a time.
Yeah, I do the kind of in and out thing where like with Game of Thrones, I was into HBO when it was over.
Yeah, cancel it.
Kaput.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I do the same thing with pretty much all the services. Minus
feel like
Netflix,
that's why-
to be honest.
That's why I
because-
think actually HBO's probably got the weakest chance against all these guys. I think that
Well, I
they
think it's-
do the one show that everybody has to watch for a while, and after that show's over, because I've had access to it before and I've looked through it, they don't have much for content. So like when it comes to movies, all their movies are from like the late '90s. Which,
well, this is going to be Warner Bros. With AT&T who bought them. So
Yeah.
I mean, they have a huge list of
the library might
content,
open up, but
so-
I just feel like HBO's biggest problem is they can't keep you in. They catch you for a show, and then like just like you, everybody else cancels.
Well, I think that's why they launched this. Because yesterday when we were kind of talking about this initially, I was kind of confused. I'm like, why would they release a streaming service when they already kind of are a quote unquote streaming service? Because they had HBO Go or Now or whatever
now
it's
I
called.
think it's now.
but now as I looked into it, they're gonna have all your HBO content that they already have like available to you, plus all the Warner Bros. Stuff, all the Friends, Big Bang, all these different shows that you can kind of enjoy. So I think they're filling in that gap of when people try and get out of their service because their popular shows are
Right.
over. So maybe this is their way of saying, "Hey, stick around. We still have plenty of
I'll tell you,
binge-worthy stuff."
if all they have is to offer me Big Bang Theory,
yeah,
I'm
not
out.
Yeah, well, I'll be
So
curious to see what else. Those are just kind of the big names. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Big Bang. I actually I've seen a YouTube video.
But they took the laugh track
taking-
out. We were talking
Yeah.
about this.
Oh my goodness!
I
If
am
you
sure it's
haven't
awful.
seen that and you're listening, stop this right now and just Google that, and it's hilarious. It's funny in itself.
I'm sure it
but
makes you a little
anyways,
disappointed that you ever laughed at it.
yeah. I mean, I've caught it on TV before, so I've definitely seen the show.
Disappointed in you, Danny.
I mean, I think everybody's seen at least one episode of that thing. I don't believe you, Eric.
I've never seen it.
But kind of wrapping out all this hubbub talk on streaming, I kind of wanted to do some just fun stuff because NCAA had some big news come out that they're going to allow, and I know Eric has a little bit of a different feeling on this, but they're going to allow athletes to monetize basically all their likeliness. What was the wording they exactly used? Let me find it here because I'm actually curious. It was something like they were going to give them the rights to get the likeliness. If
Their likeness, I think, is the word.
Is it the likeness?
Yeah, likeness.
Okay. And then any use they get for video games and stuff like that. So it's a huge, in my opinion, monumental.
Well, that would actually, wouldn't that be weird? 'Cause
part.
when's the last time they made an NCAA basketball game?
Or football. They do it all the time, every year.
Really? I
Every
thought they
year.
stopped making them because of this controversy.
No, every year they just don't use their names.
Oh, is that what it is? That's how they get around it?
They never were allowed to use their names. They're only allowed to use their numbers. I don't even think they were able to use like their faces. I think they looked not even like similar. I'm not sure because I don't really play the game, so I can't
I'll be honest
speak
with
on
you.
that.
I don't really know much about this. I mean, I've obviously seen the news and seen the stories about it. Yeah, no, see, it's just the NCAA football game coming back.
Oh, it did stop?
Yeah, it looks like it did stop because this is literally just the other day. So they did stop
What?
making them.
Oh
That's
my
what I thought.
gosh.
Well, because this is a huge deal because these guys wanted to start getting paid for their likeness. And you and I had a little bit of a conversation prior to the show, but like, given what I know, and anybody is welcome to like comment below or come in here right now. I'm looking at the chat and tell me I'm wrong, but as I understand it, these guys are basically looking to get money for them being used in promotions and video games and everything else for whatever purpose, right?
Right. And I mean,
So that being the case, they feel that they're entitled to this. So now where I'm going to step in and say is, well, you're at some of the best schools in the world. Like,
True.
I mean, literally Harvard has a basketball team. I don't know how they do.
and football.
Yeah, and a football team. These guys play for these schools and essentially get paid, putting this in quotes, room and board and an education.
And scholarship.
And I mean, while
a lot of them.
I'm talking here, Daniel, quickly look up how much it costs to go to Harvard for a year.
Oh my gosh.
So you're technically getting paid to do this. Now, I understand the NCAA is outside of the university system. It's kind of like the conglomerate for the sport. But that being the case, the NCAA, now granted, I'm not going to say they don't make money. Sure they do. But the thing is all these programs cost money. And to bring these students in on scholarship costs money. And that money has to come from somewhere. And if you're good enough at your sport that you can get your school, like, on the Big Ten network, every night and people are screaming your name and everything else, that's really good promotion for the school. If you're a basketball player, then or a football player or any other NCAA sport, you're going to want to go to that school because it's got the prominence.
Yeah, so for room, board, and fees and all that good stuff, it'll cost you about $70,000 a year.
$70,000 a year. And what is the average wage or what's the average salary for somebody in the United States? That's the next part.
Oh, probably like
Look at
40,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look that up real
45,000.
quick. So, I mean, you're telling me that these guys need to get paid when, football stadiums aren't cheap to build, as any city can tell you. I don't remember how much it cost the city of Chicago to put in the new Bears Stadium, which, God,
$56,000 is the
yeah.
average medium right now.
So
Actually, it's
right,
a lot higher than I thought.
yeah. So it's almost $14,000 more than the average household income that these people are getting paid a year to get an education
Well,
and to play a sport.
well, not all of them. And that's, I mean, I think that's where my argument comes in. Not all of these kids are getting, full ride scholarships. There's
Not
a
all
lot
of
of
them. No, I'm not
people.
going to disagree. This is on the premise of the full ride scholarship. We're talking, Michael Jordan
Right.
style walks
And
into Clemson and Clemson gives him a deal. I don't know if he went to Clemson. I'm not a huge
No,
sports
yeah.
fan, honestly, but if he gets the full ride scholarship, that's $70,000 a year at Harvard.
Yeah. I mean, they did say, and this is a good thing in my opinion, that if they do opt, because I believe they're making this an optional thing, that you can either opt in to take advantage of this or you don't have to. But if you do opt in, your scholarship money, whatever it may be, will be treated as income, which means it will be taxable.
Right.
So kind of going, it kind of meets you halfway with your idea of, look, if you're going to get paid to go to school, and then on top of that,
Want
look
to
for
get paid,
more money and get sponsorships and whatever it may be, we're going to tax you on that money, which I think that is very
I don't think
fair.
it's unfair there.
No, I think that is a great rule, but I mean, we'll see how they kind of mold the regulations,
I'm sure
because they
it's
haven't
gonna be
really
in the
come
works,
out
yeah.
with anything specific on how they're going to frame this all up. Obviously, they had this meeting yesterday and just kind of came out and announced it. The NFL, I believe, was the ones who kind of kicked it off, because they had a meeting and basically came out and said, hey, once these NCAA guys come over to, the big leagues, we want to be able to make sure that we can streamline the money to them. So it was a way for the NCAA of actually stepping up, I think, to say, okay, we're going to jump on board, because California also passed that law in September,
saying that they must be paid, yeah.
which will go into effect on I think it's the 2023. So it's quite a bit away.
And I'm
but
sure there
still,
will be
these
changes within the legislation and everything else. Yeah.
Right.
It might even be challenged. It might be considered. I don't know. We'll find out. But
right. But it's just a big step, I thought, and it was a good kind of just quick story. And on top of that, I wanted to say, because I'm a huge fan of Tiger Woods, big golfer myself, congratulations to 82. He tied Sam Snead for the number one wins.
All right, and then
tours. So
is that it for golf nerd news today?
yes, that's it for my golf nerd news. So
let's get into the battleground, man. We're running long. We were supposed to be short. Let's kick this off.
All right, here we go.
All right, so in the battleground, I'm not gonna make any moves. I added Take Two a couple days ago, and I'm still waiting for earnings. It's up a little bit today from where I picked it up. Total gains, I'm up 0.18 today, but I'm down $30. So
Right.
not too bad, but yeah, everything's actually in the green, and Walt Disney actually came out of the red for once. So I'm actually kind of happy about that. But Matrix Service Company still kind of hurt me a little bit. Not down too far, but I might be getting out of that. But I might do that at the same time I jump out of Take Two.
All right. And just taking a look at your portfolio here. So he has Disney. What is that? King Ross Gold, Matrix Services,
Takeda Pharmaceuticals, and Take-Two Interactive. Which,
All right,
again,
so
if
you're
anybody is actually following me on this move, I'm literally waiting for November 7th when they announce earnings.
Red Dead 2, right?
Well, that comes out on the 2nd, I think.
Second?
Yeah.
Okay. Second or fifth?
It might be the 5th. And all I know is that Red Dead comes out before their earnings,
Yeah.
and I'm obviously paying attention to their earnings. So
I think that'll be a big deal.
I think that on the 7th is when they announce. I think I'm going to be very, very happy with this move.
All right, cool. I'm taking actually some action today. So after the past few weeks, we spoke to a few of our in-house experts here, both Kevin Cook and John Blank, or John. I'm sorry, or. Oh
Who are you talking about? Who are you blanking on right now?
I'm completely blanking on his
Blank.
name.
John Blank.
Yeah, sorry, John Blank. They both brought in this company called GW Pharmaceuticals, kind of hitting on a lot of the current plays in the medical field as well as in the marijuana field. So I thought it would be just a great way to kind of.
Oh yeah, they're the ones that produce that marijuana drug that's derived. That's right.
So they're one that tries to stay out of the marijuana kind of realm. They don't like to announce things like, "Hey, we're in cannabis" and stuff,
Weed.
because cannabis has been taking a bit of a hit this year after its kind of huge run up. So they're trying to stay away from that. They do a lot more than just cannabis. But I thought it'd be a great way to kind of slowly get in. They're a little bit down off their highs. Currently sitting today at 133. If I can pull up my screen here
What's
for
the
you guys.
ticker on that one?
Ticker is GWPH. So it's pretty flat today. It's 133.81. Its 52-week high is 196. So definitely off those huge run-up highs. And it's kind of settled down over the past couple months. So it's currently a hold with the score of an A of momentum. The style scores aren't the best, but again, I'm playing this as kind of something that's been recommended over and over again to us, kind of in conversation. And I thought that, kind of doing something that we're familiar with, something that we've been talking about. I'm going to kind of slowly work my way into this kind of position. We're not going to buy up and, jump straight into the water.
You're just going to add it to the watch list then, or?
No, I'm going to add it to the portfolio.
Oh, you're buying in.
But I'm not going to add like a ton of shares. We're going to kind of slowly work our way into this one due to the volatility and kind of, I guess, craziness that this sector can kind of have.
So how many shares are you looking to jump into then?
Probably between 5 and 10.
Ooh,
maybe
that's
like
actually a lot
5.
larger than I would have thought. I mean, that's like $1,000 right there.
Yeah, so maybe like 5. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll add it up to like 10 to 15. Who knows? So yeah, I think it's a great play, and let me know what you think. Am I making a mistake, guys? Is the kind of marijuana cannabis story over, or I don't think so, but
I think once it goes federal here in the United States, it's going to be different. I think once it federally is legal, doesn't matter which president does it or however they do it, whether it's through Congress or Senate or anything else. But I think the minute they give the green light to the banks and to the investors and everybody else, I think marijuana is going to take off. I think if you get in now while it's low and hold until that happens, which it's gonna happen,
right?
Then you're just going to be raking it in, literally.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm always excited to watch these types of industries, and I think investing and getting involved is kind of a fun way of staying on top of things. Sometimes being on the sidelines, you kind of fall off, all the top news and what's going on. So,
well, it's easy to just also lose track of stuff. I mean, let's be honest. There's so much going on in the world on a daily basis.
I mean, as we just kind of hit on, we went over earnings, which slightly we didn't touch on, but just kind of look out for Facebook and Apple at the end of the day today. We hit on streaming. We hit on what else? The NCAA and all these things. So there's just a lot going on. And yeah, tune in next week to make sure to catch what we're going to talk about. I'm sure we'll have a guest on to kind of hit on some certain sector, and we'll see what's going on.
And don't forget, guys, while you're poking around at Zacks.com, check out Zacks.com. If I could talk today, Zacks.com/promo. That's where you can find the latest deals from Zacks. And currently, they're giving a deal away for $1, which is all of the Zacks services for $1, including the services that are closed currently. So, if you are interested in checking any of that out, go check out all the details at Zacks.com/promo. For those of you still with us, please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if there's anybody we want to talk to. We're always open. And if we don't happen to see anything, we will talk to you guys next week.
Peace.